Scotland has a successful history of alcohol production and export, especially for the whisky, which is first made in Scotland since at least the 15th century. Alcohol-related industries are responsible for around 3.3 billion pounds of exports and directly employ around 9,900 people in Scotland. But alcohol misuse reduces the productive capacity of the economy and imposes significant costs to Scottish society. The total cost of alcohol misuse in Scotland in 2006 is estimated to be in the region of 2.2 billion pounds. The Scottish Parliament has suggested the setting minimum price of alcohol last year, and some members agree with this bill, but others disagree with it.
Now, the reason the government has brought this forward is because Scotland does have an increasingly difficult relationship with alcohol. We're finding that people are drinking more, they're drinking to excess, the levels of cirrhosis of the liver has gone through the roof, and we have a what I would call a ticking time bomb in terms of a health problem that requires to be addressed. The government's solution, by introducing minimum pricing, is, according to them, to target problem drinkers, those who are most hazardous in their drinking habits, and young people and people on low incomes.
In this community here, the Edinburgh and Lothian region of about 1 million people, at any time we have 2,000 patients on our books. I can't tell you exactly how many new people come each year, because sometimes these are people who have been into treatment in the past and have relapsed, so that doubles the numbers, of course. But it is a condition which has become more common in Scotland in recent years.
Can you tell me what's the most serious problem for people drinking a lot of alcohol?
The physical illnesses, of course, are sometimes painful, and sometimes the depression that can come with alcoholism is also very painful, leading sometimes even to suicide.
In your perspective, you think that the Parliament should introduce this bill?
Yes, the scientific evidence is not complete, and we need to do more research. But Scotland could be in a very good position, in fact leading the world, in evaluating this action. Of course, there could also be a possibility of comparison with England if England didn't bring in the same legislation.
One aspect of the bill is minimum unit pricing, which unfortunately all of the opposition parties in the Parliament have said that they are against for a variety of different reasons. The reason most of the opposition, whilst accepting that something needs to be done and accepting that price, is a key part of somebody's consumption pattern, because obviously the cheaper it is, the more people tend to buy. We don't accept that minimum unit pricing is actually the right answer to tackling this problem. And the reason we don't accept that is because, when you look at it, it doesn't do what the government wants it to do. It doesn't target those who have real severe alcohol problems, because to them price isn't the issue. They have an addiction that they need to satisfy. So it doesn't target those who are the most hazardous, the most harmful drinkers, okay? It doesn't target young people who are probably the least price sensitive, and there is evidence to back that up. And they really haven't done any modelling to show us the impact on people on low incomes. So, the government's solution, we don't think, is the right one.
The public seems to not agree with this bill. They think it is not better to set this kind of minimum pricing.
I think it's not a good idea. I think that using pricing as a way to influence social behaviour doesn't really work. I think it's much better to try to improve social norms and encourage healthy drinking and across the society, rather than trying to force it through pricing, because I think all it does is disadvantage people who don't have money.
So, do you care about the price of the alcohol?
Not really, no.
So, if the price of the alcohol is higher, you will not mind?
I would mind, but I would still buy the alcohol.
But where do you usually buy the alcohol?
Just off license, just usually in Tesco's, yeah.
Okay, so why you not buy the alcohol in the individual shop?
Because the price is usually less in Tesco's than in the individual shop. So I'd usually be, buy two, buy one get one free and stuff.
People enjoy buying alcohol in supermarkets because of the cheaper price and many brands of cider and wine. The best seller in supermarket is not the expensive wine and whiskey, but the cheap beer, cider, and wine, which may be affected by the minimum pricing. Also, many supermarkets like Asda and Tesco will have some discount to attract customers, which will make alcohol much cheaper. It seems that if the parliament introduces the bill of setting minimum pricing, the supermarkets cannot have such discount anymore, which will cause the decrease of profits, though they have other profits to make up the loss. Pocket money of Scottish kid is £6.24. So if I have £10, how much alcohol I can buy? Look, this bottle of alcohol is fruit beer, and the alcohol percent is 4.6. But the price here is only £1.20. So how many bottles I can buy? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there are 9 bottles of fruit beer I can buy. So the price of beer and cider is around £1 or more. It is not very expensive, but if the bill of setting minimum price for alcohol is introduced by Parliament to markets, maybe the price of beer and cider will arise to a higher level, like this kind of red wine here. This red wine is £3. It's nearly £5. It's £5. It's £5. And it's nearly £8. It's nearly £6. So, if the price of beer and cider is like this kind of red wine, if they want to buy 9 bottles of beer, they nearly need to spend maybe £50. It is more than only £10. If the parliament has introduced the minimum price of alcohol, the individual wine shops seem to have more advantages in competing with supermarkets, because the supermarket cannot sell lower price to attract customers, and the individual wine shops have more brands or the better quality of wine. In addition, the price is not the most consideration of customers who go to individual wine shop to buy alcohol. They will send it as presents. The customers will care more about the quality, brands, and packages as well. However, the profits may still be affected, as the pricing must follow the bill and the regulation of Parliament. How much alcohol do you sell on average per day? I mean, how many bottles of wine?
It can vary between 15 and 100 bottles per day.
And I think compared with the supermarkets, what's the advantage of your individual wine shop?
Well, I think we've got an interesting and diverse range, some of which you won't be able to get in the supermarkets. I think we have very good value for money, and a lot of people are obviously dissuaded from going to the supermarkets because of the names that Tesco have now, and a lot of people don't want to see being shopping in a big cooperative atmosphere, and they want to, shop locally and be able to source goods and local produce and interesting boutique wines from smaller retailers.
So you think that the Scottish people will care about the brand of the wines more than the price of the wine?
I think both of which. The price is obviously a very important factor, but the quality of the wine as well.
And in your shop, the people come to buy the wines, and do they prefer to buy the wines in a cheaper price?
It really depends what budget they have, what the wine's for. If it's a special occasion, they're going to spend more. If it's just a bottle for themselves, they may spend a little bit less. If it's a bottle with friends, if they're taking to a dinner party, they may spend more. So it really depends on what the wine's for.
It seems that if the Parliament want to introduce the bill of setting minimum price of alcohol, they need to consider the opinion from different aspects, like the members of Parliament, from the doctor, and also from the public. They have a long way to go.